Well, good. Well, whatever time of day it is for you, wherever you are. Thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about something that I have not wanted to talk about for a long time, and that is how to set up your own Run8 server for you, your friends, how many other people you want to do it. Now, before we get into the meat and bones of this, I do want to caution you against running your own server for multiple reasons. One, not that many people play Run8, and the more people running servers means that the few people who are playing Run8 are spread across even more servers. Picture it this way: if there's 100 people playing Run8 and there's 50 servers, that means there's 2 people per server. Starting your own server, while fun, is not necessarily going to solve the problem of you don't have anybody to play with. Realistically, that's what I would love to see, is fewer servers with more people. That's just me. Whatever. That's my little tidbit of why you shouldn't host your own server. The other thing, too, is like it can be really, really stressful to try and run and organize a server, especially when they start to grow. How do I know this? I run the oldest, longest running Run8 community in Run8. It's actually been around even before Run8 because we were something else, but that's a story for another time. Anywho, again, before you like try and start your own server, consider joining one of the multiple servers that already exist. All right, let's start to get into the meat and potatoes of this, the deep dive into setting up your own server. Before we do that, though, there are 2 terms that I have to clarify, and I'm going to explain what these terms are in the simplest form. If there's anyone IT out there who's like, you're wrong, probably I am. I don't know. I'm going off of my experience in setting up my own servers. The 2 terms we're going to talk about first are local IP address and global IP address. You need to know the difference between these 2. Global IP address is the equivalent of your home address. If I wanted to write you a letter and send it to your house, I'm going to give it to the post office with your global address on it, and the post office is going to take that letter and deliver it to your house, and deliver it to your mailbox, your front door, whatever. Your local IP address is your local address on your network. It's the equivalent of me writing your home address on this envelope and then what bedroom you're in. So 1234 North Street, 2nd bedroom on the left. Okay? The reason why this is important to know is because many times when I have helped people in the past set up servers of various types, they're constantly giving out their local IP address instead of their global IP address. Why is this a problem? If I'm trying to send you a letter and you just tell me you're in the living room, where's that letter going to go? I'm just going to write living room and hand it to the post office, and the post office is going to go, okay, I don't know what to do with this. Those 2 terms are important that you need to understand first. Because we're going to get into those terms here in a bit. In fact, we're going to jump right into your local IP address right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do port forwarding. This is going to be a setting on either your router or your modem or whatever internet box you have. I personally have internet through Verizon, so I have a Verizon internet gateway thingy mabobber, whatchamacallit. And because I don't want to actually go into all of its settings, you would go into your router, and I'm not going to explain how to do this on every single device out there because there's so many different routers and gateways that you can do port forwarding on that it would take me months to do a tutorial covering every single one. My best bit of advice for you is find out what sort of router and or gateway you have. It's whatever network device, Wi-Fi device, whatever that your computer is connecting to. Find out what that is and look up a tutorial for port forwarding on that. Most likely it's going to be under settings and advanced, and there'll be a tab called port forwarding like you see here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to follow the tutorial and make sure that you set the port to 15197. If it asks for a range, you just do 1597, and if it says, a top and bottom, you 15197, 1597, or 15197, the same two numbers. When it asks for protocol, you can do TCP or UDP or both. I do both. It works just fine. It may ask for a forward address, and this is the local address to your computer at home that you want it to go to. Some routers may give you an option with a drop-down, and you can see every machine that is connected to your network. And if your computers are named correctly on their network cards, you can generally find out what computer it is you need to port forward to. It's whichever computer is going to be running Run8. Now, if you don't know what your address is for your local IP address for the machine that you're trying to port forward to, fear not, there's a way you can get around this and find this information. You go down here to start, right here where it says little search bar, and you type in CMD, right? And that's going to bring up this command prompt right here. And you're going to type in IPCONFIG, IPconfig, and you're going to press enter. And I'm not going to do that here. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the screenshot that I already took of it, because I prepared this earlier, just like a cooking show. And it's going to pop up a whole bunch of information, but the only thing you're looking for is your IPv4 address. 192.168.1. Whatever. Mine happens to be 30. This is the local address of the computer on the network. You're going to need this. You're going to punch that into your port forwarding. It may not be that exact number. It's going to be whatever number your computer is assigned. You're going to put that in as the forwarded address. And if it says any schedules or anything, you're going to just tell it always, and you're going to hit OK. Once you've done that, and your port forwarding looks similar to this, let's just circle it. Nope. I wanted to paint. Similar to this, right here, with your port number and your IP address in there, you should have successfully port forwarded. You may need to reboot your router during this time. If you do not have access to your router to do this, because either parental controls lock you out, you don't have the password, you're on a college campus and it's a public network, you're SOL. You got to be able to port forward. If you can't port forward, you can't. There's no way around this. If you're using a VPN, it's different. I haven't messed with a VPN doing it, so I don't know. After you've done that, you're going to go into Run8, and you're going to go to your host menu, which is F2, and you're going to click whatever one of these settings you want, and you're going to hit Host Session. Ta-da! But Kaz, how do I get people to connect to my computer and find me? What you're going to do is you're going to go to a website called... Oh, my Windows key's not working. That's cool. You can just go to you can go to Google. And I'm not gonna show this on screen. And just type in what's my IP, and that's going to bring up your IPv6, which is your global IP address. And it might be a number like 751517.119 or something like that. It'll be some oddball number. That's the number you're going to give to your friends when they go to connect. If you followed all of those steps, if you've done the port forwarding and you've made sure that the port forwarding is set to the computer that Run8 is going to be running on, and you have given your friends your global IP address, and you've clicked start on the server, everything should work. Hope that helps. Oh wow, and I managed to keep this video under 10 minutes. If you have any questions, that's the extent of my knowledge here. I mean, I know more. It's one of those things where there's a lot of variables based on various different hardwares. So you might be able to, well, Cass, how do I port forward on this router? I don't know. Google it. How do I do the fancy thing like some of the servers do where they have username things instead of, like, web addresses instead of ports? That's more advanced network stuff that you're just going to have to figure out on your own. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, check the link in the description below. Check the links in the description below. I have my Twitch channel. I sometimes stream. It's December. I'm kind of taking a break right now. I'm just absolutely burnt out on life. And so I just need to take a little break for December. I also have a link to the CMFR Run8 community. So if you decide you want to actually join a community instead of start your own little server with you and your friends, or you just want to start a server with you and your friends to get some practice and then join a server, I will have a link to the link to our Discord in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys all in the next one. There's the end record button.